Hi everyone, my name is Sienna Soto, and today I will be talking about the leadership interview I conducted with Oscar Casillas. Oscar is the president and CEO of BEPC. BEPC stands for Business Excellence Professional Consulting. Oscar began BEPC as a sole proprietorship in 2005, and he later turned his company into a corporation, which now has over 400 people, ranging all across the United States and Mexico. He is in the medical device, pharmaceutical, and biotechnology industry. And when asked about his daily tasks, he states that he manages the enterprise, tracks metrics like profit and loss statements, and he meets with directors. When I asked Oscar about his leadership experience, he states that he gained most of his experience through self-taught books and positions that he had throughout his career and difficult schooling. I chose Oscar as the person to interview because he runs a very successful company that works in a similar industry that I am looking towards, and therefore I figured he would be the perfect leader to speak with. The first point Oscar and I started talking about was how to have difficult conversations. That is a point of leadership that I don't believe that I measure very well, as I am still working on how to address conflict. And he began to tell me about a book that he read that has a habit that states, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood during a difficult conversation." After he began telling me about this book, I did my own research and obtained the book myself. And according to author Stephen Covey in his 1989 book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he states clear-headed people see things differently, each looking through a unique lens of experience. When looking towards difficult conversations, we have to remember, especially when working in the same organization, that we are on the same team, we are working towards the same goals, and therefore everybody has a different perspective. Even when everybody is very clear-headed, there is not high stakes, we are all going to perceive information differently. And one step that I am going to use to push through a difficult conversation would be to take the time and listen. Listen before I state anything else. Listen before I state my own opinion, as Oscar recommended. He states to allow the other person to describe and talk about their own perspective before you offer your own. The next leadership point that we began to discuss was obtaining results. When I asked Oscar how he decides how to promote an individual and what he values in another leader is how they obtain their results. And so I decided to do my own research, and in William Craig's 2018 Forbes article, Leadership Practices That Drive Results, he states the qualities needed in a leader to achieve results. He and Oscar both had very similar traits and qualities that they value to get towards the results that are needed, and a lot of them overlap. So the first one that William talks about is how they should be able to communicate direction and strategy. They need to motivate and inspire, how integrity inspires trust, how you should help others grow, how leaders set stretch goals, and lastly, how leaders readily offer and apply feedback in order for all of these to lead to the recommended results or the desired results. And so a lot of these that Oscar talked about were how you should respect the people that you work with, show empathy towards others, be able to trust the others that you work with, and how those all together lead to obtaining results. So one thing that I am currently working on, and where I measure with obtaining results, is I am new to the industry that I'm working in. I am still learning, and so I hope as I contain more capabilities that I will be able to incorporate all of these other important qualities into my leadership skills so that way I can eventually promote the best results. So I hope that I plan to take the first step in gaining my capabilities and confidence so that I can focus on all of these other qualities and tasks and qualities and values. To go over what I discussed and through my research, I picked up 2 key leadership points. My first being how to handle difficult conversations, and the next being how to achieve results. I have my 3 references listed: my interview with Oscar Casillas, the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and lastly, the Forbes article Leadership Practices That Drive Results by William Craig. Thank you.